Hey everybody, it is Mr. Belk making another video today, still going through chapter 8. So this is section 8.2. We're going to be doing this for 2 days. Oddly enough, when you're dealing with rational expressions, adding and subtracting them, it's actually a lot harder than multiplying and dividing them. So we'll spend 2 days on adding and subtracting them. And what we're doing today, we're going to add and subtract with what's called monomial denominators. All that means is that our denominators are not polynomials. So what is good about that is it means that you don't have to factor your denominators, okay? But which we will be doing later. But what's bad about that is the denominators can look really scary. You see our two denominators here. We've got 2x to the third. We got 2x to the third, and we got 8x squared, 8xy squared. It looks very, very intimidating, okay? But we're going to talk about how you can add and subtract these things. Just a quick reminder, let's come over here and talk about adding and subtracting fractions in general. So let's say we've got 2 over 3, and we want to add that to 1/2. Okay, so the way that you have to do that, let's erase that. The way that you have to do that is you have to get a common denominator, okay? And you're going to have to figure out what your common denominator is. So in this case, with 2/3 plus 1/2, our common denominator, you want to find the smallest common denominator that you can find, and that will make your life easier. And for 2/3 and 1/2, I think the smallest one would be 6. The smallest denominator would be 6. So for the 2/3 fraction, you want to figure out what you need to multiply by to get to 6. So I got to multiply 3, I got to multiply by 2 to get to 6. And then I'm also going to multiply that by that number on top. And for 1/2, I've got to multiply by 3 to get to 6. So that means I'm going to multiply that fraction also on top by 3. So let's see what we got so far. So 2 times 2 on top is 4. 3 times 2 on the bottom is 6. Plus 1 times 3 on the top is 3. And then in the denominator, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? So now we can actually add them, and then when you are adding them, the common denominator that you just found stays the same. It stays 6, and 4 plus 3 is 7. And then you want to simplify it if you can, but that will be your answer for this. 7 over 6. Okay? We're going to use those same skills to add rational expressions, so they will have algebra involved also. So let me rewrite these things. So we'll have 3y over 2x to the third. And I'm going to leave some space because I'm going to have to multiply by something. And then I'm going to have 5z over axy squared. So I'm going to have to get my denominators to have the same numbers and to have all the same variables there. So let me figure out what we need to have. So this denominator, I need its number to be 8. I'm pointing at the one on the left. Its denominator needs to be 8. So to get to 8, I'm going to know I need to multiply by 4. And then the other thing that I need in this denominator is a y squared. So I'm going to multiply this whole left fraction by 4 and y squared. And you got to do that on the top and the bottom. So now for the right fraction, I've already got an a there. I have an x to the first power, and the y squared is okay, but what I need to make it the same as the left fraction is I need to multiply it by an x squared. What that will do is that will get the x to the first in the middle to be x to the third. And if I multiply the bottom by it, I also need to multiply the top by it. So let me write out what this gives us. So now on the top, if you multiply 3y times 4y squared, you'll get 12y to the third. And then in the denominator, you'll get 8. And then x to the third. 8 came from the 2 times 4, by the way. And then I have y squared. And at this point, when you multiply this next fraction, you'll know you did something wrong if you don't have the same denominator. That means that you messed up either in your multiplying or in deciding what you needed to multiply. So for my right fraction now, 5z times x squared is 5x squared z. I usually just write all my letters in alphabetical order. And then on the denominator, I've got 8 also. The x times x squared is x to the third, so that looks good so far. And the y squared has no other y's to combine with. and then you can see that the two denominators are the same, which is good. That's what I wanted. So now what you can do is add the two terms in the numerator. And if they have any like terms, then you can combine them. Oops. So I've got 12, and then y to the third, and I'm going to do plus 5x squared z. And those are not like terms because they have different variables and different exponents. So don't combine any of those terms on the top. And then similar to when we added this and got 7 over 6, don't add the two terms in the denominator, your denominator stays the same. That's just a rule of how you add fractions. Okay, and let me highlight this, I guess. And there's your final answer. 12y third plus 15, or 5x squared z, and then all over 8x to the third y squared. Okay, so these problems are a little bit intimidating. And that's what we're going to practice. Let me scroll. Okay, let's keep going with this example. So let me, in blue, I'm going to try to squeeze in here the different things we need. So let's look at the two denominators. The one on the left has a 5, an a to the third, and a b squared. So I need to multiply this fraction. I think I'm going to write my multiplying things over here on the left for this fraction, so I'll have room. So I need, the 5, this other one is 10, a and b. So I know I want my number to be 10, so I'm going to multiply by 2. And then the a to the third and the b squared, I can change the right denominator to be a to the third and b squared really easy. So the only thing I should do to this left denominator is multiply it by 2. But what that means for my right denominator is the 10 is fine. I'm going to get 10 on the left side also. But there's only one a there, so I need to multiply by an a squared to give me 3a's. And there's only one b there, so I need to multiply by 1b to get my b to the third. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom on the right fraction by a squared b. So let's write this out again and see what we get from all that. So 4 times 2 on the top is going to give us 8. On the bottom, 2 times 5a to the third b squared is 10a to the third b squared. And then the right fraction, we got plus 9c times a squared b is 9. And then I'm just going to put them in alphabetical order, a squared, b, and c to the first. And then on the bottom, I'll have 10, which is good so far. A times a squared is a to the third, which is what I wanted. And then b times b is b squared, which is also what I wanted. So my two denominators are the same. So let me add the two terms in the numerator. 8 and 9a squared bc. You can't combine them again because they all have different variables and different exponents. And then in the denominator, I've got 10a to the third b squared, which does not change after you found that common denominator. It will stay the same. Okay? Let's go and talk about the last one. So the last one is going to be a subtraction problem, which looks really intimidating again. Subtraction seems to be harder than multiplication, but we will go through the same exact steps, and there'll be one slight difference. So let me again figure out. So we've got 16 and 5. So the smallest two numbers that we can make those, I think what we're going to have to do is multiply 16 and 5. So what that means on the left side is I'm going to multiply this by 5 on the top and bottom. And then it's got a b squared. The right side only has a b, but we can go fix the right side later. What this side also needs is an a to the third. And this part right here, what I'm doing will be the hard part in all of the things that we do with adding and subtracting. Finding your common denominator will be the challenging part. Okay, so now the right fraction, I'm gonna have to multiply it by 16 to get to that 16 times 5, which I don't know what it is. I'll have to do that here in a second. But I know a to the third is good. I'm bringing in a to the third on the left side. And then for the right fraction, it's only got one b. So I also need to multiply it by b. So I'm going to multiply those two things by 16b. Now let me go figure out what 5 times 16 is. Well, on the top here, I can do this one. 5 times 3, and the a cubed and the a. So 5 times 3 is 15. Let me write this in black. 5 times 2 is 5 times 3, sorry, is 15. A to the third, a squared, that gives me a to the fifth. 5 total a's. In my denominator, let me do 5 times 16 on my calculator real quick. 5 times 16 is 80. And then I'll have a to the third times b squared is a to the third b squared. And now I've got a minus in between them still, don't forget about that. 8 times 16, so on the top I'll have 8, nope, not 8. I gotta figure out what 8 times 16 is. If you do 8 times 16 on your calculator, you'll get 128. And then x stays there. I'm going to put it on the end because b comes first, b times x. And then my denominator, 5 times 16 gave me 80 just a second ago. And then I've got a to the third already. And the b times b gives me b squared. So again, that's how you know you're on the right track. Your denominators are the same. Now what we're going to do is subtract the two terms that are on top. So that's going to be the only small difference when you're subtracting. You'll have 15a to the fifth, and then minus 128 bx. And then over, so this will be over 80 a to the third b squared. All right, so those are all the examples that I wanted to go over with you guys today, your problems from the book that I want you to do are posted on LMS and RenWeb and everything, and please contact me and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much.